Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is here. Monster Hunter Rise is on the way next month. And we've got Bravely Default 2 to keep us entertained in the meantime as well. But once new Pokemon Snap arrives in April, there's very little indication about what other first-party Nintendo games we're going to be playing on Switch later this year. Greetings everyone, Phil here from Nintendo Village, and in this video we're going to be talking about Nintendo's rather sparse release slate for the rest of 2021 and why you shouldn't actually be all that worried about it. Thanks for joining us, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. We have new videos up every single week, and so without further ado, let's get into it. So, around a year ago, I did a video about Nintendo's 2020 release lineup, basically bemoaning the fact that it looked like they had very little in the pipeline. That was based on some info that surfaced in an investors briefing, where they had a table indicating the upcoming Switch games they had announced. That list consisted of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition and Clubhouse games. The rest of the list, Bravely Default 2, Bayonetta 3, Metro Prime 4 and the Breath of the Wild sequel, we still haven't seen. Naturally, Bravely Default will move into the released column soon, but the rest of those games have not shifted from their TBA placeholder date. Last week we got another one of those investor Q&As, and another one of those tables paints a similarly bleak picture. In fact, the now released Super Mario 3D World and new Pokemon Snap are the only new additions. If you're of a slightly more pessimistic nature, a comment from Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa might have you a little worried as well. In the investors Q&A, he said that Nintendo noticed a greater proportion of sales attributed to games released in previous years over the last 12 months, highlighting the strong performance of the likes of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Party. Those evergreen titles will apparently form a key part of Nintendo's strategy for 2021, with Furukawa saying, "For the next fiscal year, we will focus on encouraging more consumers to pick up already released titles in addition to providing new titles." On the face of it, this is all rather concerning, and it could well be the case that a whole bunch of games that were originally slated this year have now been delayed until 2022 because of, well, you know, the whole ongoing situation we find ourselves in. But here's the thing, I raised similar concerns in the video last year, and as it turned out, I needn't have been worried. Sure, once Animal Crossing New Horizons arrived, the only big game that had been announced was Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. But one of the most significant things about Nintendo's marketing last year was the pivot away from Nintendo Directs. Believe it or not, we've not had a full fat one since September 2019. Instead, rather than saving everything up for a quarterly blowout, they shot from the hip, dropping announcements and trailers on social media without any of the traditional pomp and ceremony, and usually with a very short time period between initial announcement and the game's launch day. Paper Mario Origami King was the first one, with the game being announced in May and arriving just 2 short months later. After that, we got Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Mario Kart Live and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Add those to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Animal Crossing Xenoblade Chronicles and Clubhouse games, and Nintendo's 2020 turned out to be a pretty solid one, even if things did look a little worrying earlier in the year. I would not be at all surprised if Nintendo continued this trend throughout 2021. With the world still not quite back to normal, keeping things fairly under wraps until you know they're ready to ship is probably a wise move. Still, there's plenty of things Nintendo could do this year to deliver a solid 2021, regardless of the challenges they're currently facing. The Breath of the Wild sequel is a definite possibility for sure, and they could well port one or both of the HD Zelda twins across from Wii U. I'd certainly jump at the chance to play Wind Waker once again, and Nintendo have gotta be proficient at bringing Wii U games to Switch by this point. I'm not personally expecting Nintendo to make quite as big a fuss for Zelda's 35th anniversary as they did for Mario, but it would certainly be bizarre if they didn't do anything for Link's birthday, so a couple of ports in the run-up to the Breath of the Wild sequel seems like a fairly safe bet. I'd kill for Hero of Time Collection, but I think we're likely to be disappointed on that front. Then, of course, there's the spectre of Metroid. I doubt we'll see Prime 4 this year, but last year a supposed leak suggested that we'd be getting a new Paper Mario game, remasters of Super Mario 64, Sunshine and Galaxy, and a 2D Metroid. Obviously, one of those things is not like the others, but whatever info was provided to the source of the leak clearly had some veracity to it. So maybe we will indeed get that 2D Metroid game at some point this year too. The point is, Nintendo surprised us with all sorts last year, and looking back on it, it was certainly a stronger year than it perhaps looked like 12 months ago. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Nintendo will pull similar tricks this year. As ever though, I'm keen to hear your thoughts, so sound off down in the comments about your view on Nintendo's outlook for 2021. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, we have tons of other cool stuff here on Nintendo Village, and we have new videos up every single week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. If you want to talk Nintendo with me, I now stream every weekend over on Twitch. There's a link in the description, so come and hang out there. And don't forget to check out thenintendovillage.com for more Nintendo news, reviews, features, podcasts, all that cool stuff. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you all next time.